Yes to everyone, and yes to me too. In ancient times, there was an old merchant who, after years of business and trade, had gone bankrupt due to the misfortune of life. Whatever he bought became cheap, whatever he sold became expensive. The poor old man gradually lost all his wealth because of the market conditions. Hoping his luck might change, he went to other merchants to keep his shop open. He bought goods on credit from each of them. Though he became indebted to everyone, his shop flourished again. People returned to buy from him, and his situation improved. But this happiness did not last. At the end of the year, when he settled his accounts, he realized luck was not on his side again, and he had suffered losses. Thus, he became indebted to many old merchants. Creditors visited him several times to collect their money, but each time he complained about his plight and asked for more time. Seeing that he truly had nothing and was crying and lamenting, the creditors took pity on him and granted him some time. Time passed, and his grace period ended. The creditors came to him again. The old man said, "Believe me, I have nothing to give you. Whatever I sold, I lost money on. If you are not capable of buying and selling, why did you open the shop?" The creditors asked. The old man replied, "To earn my living. Starting a business with loans and other people's money leads to no good. A merchant should begin with his own money and gradually become a trader," they said. One of the creditors shouted, "Enough with the talk. This is not the time for advice. We are here for our money. Tell us, do you intend to pay your debt or not?" The old man remained silent and did not answer. The creditors grew angry and realized he had no intention of paying his debts. Therefore, they went to the city judge and filed a complaint. The news reached the bankrupt old man, and he realized the judge would soon summon him, and if he did not pay the creditors, he would be imprisoned. The old man tried everything to save himself from this mess, and finally he ended up at the house of one creditor who was less eager than the others to collect his due. The poor old man explained everything about his trading, losses, and bankruptcy. He said, "Now I am desperate. I do not know what to do." The creditor thought for a moment and said, "I will teach you a way to make the judge pity you and not send you to prison. But teaching this way comes with a condition." The bankrupt old man said happily, "Tell me the solution to my problems. I will accept any condition you have." The creditor said, "You are thinking of saving yourself, but I also want the money I am owed. I do not care about the others. My condition is that, after escaping the other creditors, you must pay me in full." The bankrupt old man agreed. The creditor said, "When you go before the judge, whatever they tell you, just say yes. If the creditors insult you, just say yes. If the judge asks anything, do not answer, just say yes." The old man agreed, and the creditor reminded him again saying, "If in this court they do not try you and leave you alone, remember that you must return the full amount I gave you." A few days later, the judge ordered that the bankrupt old man be brought before him. The creditors had also arrived. The judge asked, "Do you admit that you owe these people?" The old man replied, "Yes." "Then why don't you pay your debt?" the judge asked. The old man said, "Yes." "What have you done with all the money and goods you took from these people?" the judge asked. The old man said, "Yes." The judge got angry and said, "Yes, and damn it! Why don't you answer my questions?" The old man still said, "Yes." One of the creditors shouted, "Will you pay us our money or not?" The old man said, "Yes." Another creditor said, "Do you intend to keep all the money for yourself?" The old man said, "Yes." Another creditor asked, "Have you gone mad?" The old man said, "Yes." Another asked, "Do you think we are fools?" The old man said, "Yes." Another exclaimed, "Yes, and damn it! What kind of speaking is this?" The old man said, "Yes." In short, whatever anyone said, the old man only replied, "Yes." The judge, witnessing this, silenced everyone and said, "This poor man has gone mad. The constant pressure and running from creditors have driven him insane. We can't try or imprison a madman. Leave this poor man alone and go back to your businesses." The creditors left the judge's presence in despair. The bankrupt old man, still saying, "Yes, yes," left the court, feeling very happy. It couldn't have gone better. And as he walked down the street, he kept repeating, "Yes, yes." A few days after this, the creditor who had shown the way to the old man went to his house, greeted him and asked, "Are you well?" The old man said, "Yes." The creditor said, "See, my plan worked and you were saved." The old man said, "Yes." The creditor said, "Now it's time to keep your promise and pay me my money." The old man said, "Yes." The creditor asked, "Well, will you give me my money?" The old man said, "Yes." The creditor said, "Wasn't it supposed to be you bringing me the money yourself?" The old man said, "Yes." The creditor said, "Why are you standing? Go, bring my money and pay your debt." The old man said, "Yes." The creditor said, "Have you gone mad?" "Yes, yes. This will never be money for me." The old man said, "Yes." Whatever the creditor said, he heard nothing but yes. The creditor realized the old man had no intention of paying and keeping his promise. In despair, he turned to the old man and said, "Yes, yes, yes to everyone, and yes to me too." The old man, with a clever and triumphant smile, still said, "Yes." Dear friends, thank you for staying with us until the end. To hear more stories, stay with us and support us with your likes and comments.